Hey Flosstube, it is Michelle from Made by Michelle McGraw, and this is Flosstube 110. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new, thank you so much. Be sure to like and subscribe the video. And if you are returning, a big thank you to you, because it's been a while since I've done a Flosstube, and I have tried several times to film one. Something came up, things weren't cooperating, and I just didn't get it filmed. So today is the day. Irregardless of what is going on outside with the weather, because it is like sunny and then it's rainy and then it's doing weird stuff. So I don't care what it's doing. I'm filming a Flosstube. You might get some wonky shadows and stuff, but unfortunately, this is North Carolina in the spring / summer. It is going to be 90, close to 90 this week. We have not hit 90 yet. So yet this spring. That's not unusual for us. We don't normally get to 90, but it is May. So 90 days are coming. It is super humid outside. Because it's been raining. It's been raining all week long. We've got a bunch of rain. I think everywhere in the South got a bunch of rain, but we've gotten a bunch of rain. So I think it's just going to be muggy. It is what it is. It's spring / summer in the South. This is it. We have been busy. Our youngest bought his first home. Jesse is 18, will be 19 in October. So this is huge for him. He bought a house without us co-signing or all on his own. So we're super proud of him. My husband's been down there helping him take down a tree that was hitting the top of Jesse's truck. Jesse has a large truck. So the tree was hitting his truck. It was in the way, needed to come down. He expanded the driveway, and now he's tearing out kitchen cabinets. My husband is not a woodworker. He can do it. He doesn't like it, but he can do it. But they're tearing out the kitchen cabinets. My husband was able to get kitchen cabinets brand new from an auction. It was his second color choice. He wanted a different color first, but they went too high. These were very reasonably priced, new in the box. It was a great deal for Jesse. So he had got those, and they are going to install them in the kitchen, put new countertops on, new sink, faucets, that kind of stuff. So that's their project that they've been working on together. So a little home renovation. So anyhow, here we are to film. I have been stitching, as I always do. I generally stitch every single day. There are a few days that I don't get to, but that doesn't happen very often. I normally can stitch every day. If you can see, you might be able to see right here. This is my stitching light. You can see the top of my stitching chair here. This is right there is the corner of the table. You probably can't see much on it, but it's the corner of my table that I put my iPad on if I'm stitching on markup. I put my pattern holder if I'm stitching a paper chart. I also have another iPad there that I watch movies on. I put my scissors up there. It is a fold down table. So if you come to my house and we're friends, that table's staying up. If you come to my house and I want it to be neat, I can fold it down and put it underneath the couch quickly. If you see it, then we're friends, because I'm not putting it away. I keep my stitching up. There's Sammy. I keep my stitching up every single day, because I feel like if I'm waiting on my husband for whatever reason, he talks a lot. I wait on him a lot. I can quickly sit down and stitch. If I have an hour, I can sit down and stitch. If I have to get all of it out, sometimes I think you lose stitching time. So that's why that table's always there. So I have some haul. I don't have as much as I normally have, I feel like, even though it's been a while. I feel like I was very reserved. Maybe, kind of. I do probably have more than this, but if a designer offers it in a PDF, I've been getting it as a PDF. So it goes on my markup RXP. I'm actually preferring markup, and I was a paper chart girl for years. I am loving markup. I love the ease. I love that all my patterns are right there. I love markup. So I have gotten some PDFs lately. I'm not going to show them necessarily unless I start them. So you'll see some of them. I always try to print off the front cover so that I have it. Sometimes I'm referencing the front, excuse me, now I have the hiccups. The front cover as I stitch. See, let me take a drink, hold on. Try to get rid of my hiccups. I reference the front cover sometimes as I stitch. So I do try to print that off. All right, I have some finishes, no fully finishes. So one of the things we are now empty nesters. All my children are officially out of the house. So because Jesse's doing home remodels, some of his stuff is still in his room. So his room is a work in progress. It's not gonna change that much. We're gonna keep a bed in there for a spare bed, but there's still things he needs to get out. There's no sense of him getting it out yet because it'll be in the way and they'll just have to move it. So it's staying there. He's got his main stuff. My other son finally cleared everything out of his room, and my husband's gonna tape all the edging for me and I will start painting. There's some drywall repair. Jesse and Owen used to share a room years ago. And so like behind their bunk beds, there was like a hole in the drywall where the bunk bed got pushed into the wall a little bit, stuff that I have to patch and fix. So I have to do some patching. I have to do some fixing. I have to pull out all the nails that were in the walls that they held stuff on. Fix all that, paint all that, and then my craft room is moving to that bedroom. And I'm super excited to have that space. With that said, I haven't wanted to do any finishing because right now I finish at my kitchen table and I have to bring everything to the table, finish, put it all away at the end of the day. This dedicated craft space, I can leave it. I am buying a sewing table that my sewing machine will go down and I can have a working service. So I don't have to move my sewing machine, but I also have working space. I'm buying a raising table as long, I think, so that I can use it as a cutting table, but then also raise it down and lower it down and work on it as a working surface. To have a dedicated space is going to be amazing. I've taken over what used to be our playroom, and there's a lot of racks in there that the kids used to have tubs of toys on and stuff, which is fine, and it's worked, but that will now go into a dining room, which we've never officially have a dining room. That will be turned into a dining room. So just a lot of changes around the house that are being done, but I am super excited to get started on my sewing room / craft room. So, and I do have a finish that I'll show you that's gonna go in there. So let's get started. The first one, I'm going to hold off on showing you this finish until I can find the bag. I wanna show the chart, and the chart is in a bag, and I think I brought the bag over, but if I didn't, I'll just show it at the end. That's fine. But I don't have the chart until I find the bag because I'm not 100% done with them. So the first ones I'm going to show are robins. The robins are here with thy needle and thread. So there is the chart. There's those two cute little robins. I've had this chart for a while. I don't remember. Oh, I got this in Stitcher's Paradise. So that's in Las Vegas. So I've had this chart quite a while. All right. I did mine a little different. I did mine over 2 on 14 count. Let me see. I used 4 threads. It depends upon how it looks, whether I use 4 strands or 3 strands. 14 count over 2 is the equivalent to 7 count. Although, unlike 7 count, you don't have the ginormous holes that 7 count has. I really prefer that trick to get something a little bigger. I want to make these guys into stand-ups. So I stitched them by themselves. Let's see if I had any notes. I used flannel flower for the fabric, and I stitched over 2 using the called for. So here is my Mrs. and Mr. Robin. They are super cute. I'll go in close so you can see them. Super cute with the little bees. Now, I did put the bees in areas just to have them there. They weren't exactly charted. And then I kind of put a little border on the bottom. They have it in the chart, but like maybe this flower wasn't exactly here, but I wanted a little something to them. they'll be made into stand-ups for the springtime. And I really, really like these guys. Trying to get an accurate picture of the fabric. It's more creamy. It's showing up as tan. This is flannel flower, but this piece was not variegated very much. You can see that it's variegated on the ends, but like I don't think it has much modeling. But it's fine. It was perfectly fine. And these guys are super cute. I can't wait to make them into stand-ups. Spring is my hardest season because I don't like pastel colors. These are not pastel, so I like them. So those are it. I'll go in again. And these are over 2 on 14 count. So that's a neat little trick if you want something bigger. And also I have tons of 14 count. It is a great way for me to use some of my 14 count. All right. So that's my first finish that I have. My second finish, here's the bag. So this is an old start. And I don't think I have my original start. I'm actually going to show you a this is a chart without plastic on it. I'll show you my inspiration. There's the original Prairie Schooler. Okay. So, originally, I did one of these Prairie Schooler Rabbit Folks. Now, I think Rabbit Folks is like chart number 19 that Prairie Schooler put out. These are old. And if you look at them, they're kind of dated. When you stitch them, the colors are kind of dated. They kind of were blah to me. But I saw somebody on Instagram. Is it Carol? It might not be Carol. One of my Instagram friends finished all of these rabbits and made them into stand-ups. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. Because I actually love Prairie Schooler. If you ask me who my favorite designer is, Prairie Schooler is at the top of my list. Prairie Schooler is comfort stitch to me. So I love Prairie Schooler. I finished one of these previously, and I'm trying to remember which one I stitched. It might have been her that I stitched previously. So I kind of feel like this is Mom and Dad and the kids. Well, Mom and Dad, I'm not as keen on the way they're charted. They're okay, but I really like the little rabbits. So I think I'm only going to do the little rabbits, but I'm doing them. Where's my finish? Hold on here. Covered it up. I am doing them on flannel flower over 2 on 14 count. And I'm using, I think I'm using 4 strands as well. And I'm using the colors out of Spring Awakens from With Thy Needle and Thread. These little rabbits here. Now I like these little rabbits and I want to stitch them. So that's why I'm using this colorway from the chart. So I'm kind of combining colors because I like these colors. They were a little more updated than the original Prairie Schooler colors. The Prairie Schooler ones are a little bland. This updates them. So the first one I did is the little girl holding, I think she's supposed to be holding her doll, but I don't think I'm gonna do the big, oops, Lord be, everything fell. Trying not to drop more stuff because I was leaning on something else. Jeez Louise. I don't think I'm gonna do the 2 bigger rabbits. I think I'm just gonna do the smaller ones. But there's my first one, and I love her colors. She's super bright, she's fun. I really like her. So I'm gonna make her into a stand-up. I still have to do more. I have 3 more to do. Here is the progress on the other one that I'm doing. And he is, I'll show you in just a minute in the chart. He is this one. So I started him. I haven't finished him because I realized stitching over 2 is fantastic truck stitching for me. It's over 2. I can see it really well. It's 14 count Aida. It's super easy. And I figured this was a good project for me to put to the side and take it when I go with my husband, when we have a trip. And we do have a trip coming up to go to Atlanta and pick up a piece of equipment. So that will go with me. I'm going to just toss that over there. Okay, so that was a finish for her. All right, my next finish is, it's a free chart from Teresa Kogut. Now, I had it on as a PDF in markup. I never actually printed it out. So I've had this chart for a while, and I finally decided, with me getting a craft room, I want to get this frame to hang on the wall. I didn't know how I wanted to stitch it because I am not a primary fan. I don't like primary colors. I just don't. It is the Create from Teresa Kogut. It was a free market freebie that she put out at market. So I don't like primary colors. I ended up doing it and muted the colors, and I loved it. I used more primitive colors. So there is my Teresa Kogut Create. This is stitched on 14 count Fox and Rabbit Dirt Track. Now, I really like this fabric. I need to get some more of it. I'll go in close so you can see. I picked my own colors. Did I write it down? I did. If you are interested, take a screenshot. I picked my own colors and stitched it, and I really like it. So I'm going to actually take this to StitchCon with me. We are stopping at Craft Gallery, and I'm going to get this framed so I can put it up on my wall. So that was kind of an impromptu start because I know StitchCon is coming up in June. I'm going to be at Weekend A, and I wanted to get that done. So, all right, the second to last one, I still have one more finish. If I find the bag, I'll show it to you, or I'll just show it at the end. It's fine. This one is some banners. I've been trying to find banners. Now, I'll explain in a minute. This is harder to show because it is a banner, but this is Garden Medley from Heart and Hand. And I had these charts years ago. This is from Rocking Horse. Is it the Rocking Horse? Yes. Stitching store that used to be in Charlotte years and years and years ago. So you can tell it's been a while. This is Gardening Medley. These are cute little banners, and they have all ones. You'll see some more in my stash. And I also pulled mine. I'll show you all those in a little bit. I didn't have all of them, so I ordered some more. And this is what I stitched. Now, I also stitched this over 2 with 3 strands on 16 count Country French Cafe Mocha. And the reason why is I wanted a little bit longer banner. So they're really small as far as stitch count. They're not that big. They are 32 wide by 173 high. So it's like 2 inches by 10.5, and I doubled that. So it is, well, what was originally called for? 32 count. I did mine on 16 count over 2, so I did double it. So here is my finish, and I'll go in close so you can see. Now, when I do a banner, I leave a big area up on top. And I probably leave way too much, but I have to make a section that folds over so that I can put my little dowel holder in here. And that's why I leave so much at the top. I would rather have too much fabric than not enough and really struggle with the finishing. So that's why I do that. But here is the banner. I'll go in close. I did iron it, but I have a weird shadow going on. I'm sorry. It does look wrinkled. There is a wrinkle here, but it looks more wrinkled than it really is. Let me go in close so you can see. So the buttons are not the called for buttons. A while back, I got a bunch of these little small buttons from Fat Quarter Shop. They probably still have them. They have them in little packs, and they have like round buttons, there's flower buttons, little heart buttons, and they're all perfectly sized for cross stitch. And I bought several colorways, and I have all of that kind of stuff in one container. When I show you this bag, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I have it all in one container, and I pulled from that to use these. I was not originally like, there's supposed to be a bird right there. Then there's supposed to be a dragonfly, and then a set of peas. I wasn't buying the buttons. I was using what I had, and it was a perfect stash buster. I also used what I had on stash as far as thread. If I had the called for, I used the called for. If I didn't, I substituted with something else. These charts are really great that she gives you the DMC conversion, and she gives you an anchor as well. I don't have a lot of anchors, so I use DMC. So there you can see I put some more of the little buttons on there. And then I had this corn button that I really, really like, and I thought it was perfect for this finish. And there's another little button. So that's how I finished them. And I'll show you this bag later on, some more that I'm gonna do. But I love these little seasonal banners because they don't take any time at all to stitch up. They're perfect over two. And this banner will go on the side of my cabinet where I always kind of put a little seasonal banner. But I'm super excited because these are quick. So I can get some more banners done because I don't have that many. I have a fall, a winter ABC, the gnome house. There might be one or two other banners stitched, but not fully finished. So I want to get some more done. So there's another one done. That's perfect for summer. All right, we're gonna move on to my whips. And then if I find this bag, I will show you that finish as well. All right, sorry, I might bump the camera. All right, I have been working on Owl Forest Embroidery Black Roses. I don't know why I'm holding up this piece. I'm just gonna do it now. So I saw this as a church cathedral, and I'm not doing the witch. So I will be ending my witch queen. I will be ending mine here. So I'm just doing the top portion of it, and it's a pretty church. And I am doing mine on, I thought I had the card right there and I don't. I think this is 18 count black. I'm using 2 strands on this, which sometimes on 18 I don't. I think I probably could have used 1 strand on this, but I'm using 2. And I am using this in markup. So there is my progress so far. And I've worked more. I had the top of the cathedral done, and I had some of these flowers over here done just to kind of make sure all my colors were working. Well, I ended up ripping some out. I had this section of the cathedral done in another purple. I want to do what I see as some accents on it in purple. The more and more I look at it, the more and more it looked phallus shaped on the top of my church because I was accenting this. I'm just going to leave that there, not trying to be offensive. I ripped it out and put it back in gray, which I think is way prettier, and it does not make it look like that anymore. All right, we're going to move on from that comment, but I did some ripping. I also finished these up here. I'm going to try to do like the outline of the church and then do fill-in. There is a big section of the church right here that will be done in purple. All the windows will be done in a purple. I am using a variegated thread for the gray, and it is beautiful. I didn't bring it over here to show you. It is beautiful. I am loving it. It's something I had in stash, never used. now I get to use it. All right, so that's one whip. Okay, let's start pulling bags. None of these will be ironed because they're still works in progress. I don't generally iron while I'm stitching something. I iron when it's done. This is God Shed His Grace, and it's Starlight Stitching Company. This was in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitch magazine, and I get it as a PDF. So I actually put it on my markup RXP, but I did print out the front cover so I can show it. This is beautiful. If you leave from my house and you go up anywhere, I think it's in Virginia. I don't think it's West Virginia. There is a section of it that I swear looks like this rolling hillside. And I love it. And that's what it reminds me of every time I drive. It's right beside the highway. It's so pretty. So I wanted to stitch this, and I am stitching this with Stacy. She is also stitching this. We started it together. I should say it's a start along because there's no definitive date you have to finish. Okay, so I worked on this a little bit more. I am stitching mine on 30 or 28 count light khaki gingham from Weeks. This flag, I'm gonna go in close, is amazing. I'm working a section of that. I worked a little bit more on the letters, some more on the yellow fill-in on the sun, a little bit more on the cloud, and a little bit more on the grass. But that flag, if you can see the I need a clip. I should learn. Let me just show you that part, because that part's the part I really want to show. If you can see the variegation in that flag, right there, I think you can see it. It is amazing. It is beautiful, but it's ginormous. So it goes across the full top of the piece. So it takes a little bit, but I really, really enjoy stitching on this, and it's a very pretty stitch. So very, very pretty. Starlight Studio, or Starlight Stitching Company. There you go. Very pretty design. And I think she has an Etsy store, so you might be able to buy this pattern now. That I don't know, because I started this last July, so that would be almost a year, or maybe it will come out. Generally, designers hold, like if they publish it in a magazine, it's a year before it comes out to the rest of us. So if you don't get the magazine, you could go to the designer's site probably in July, and she might have it. I don't know that for sure, but that's typically what designers do. Okay, all right. I did stitch some on my long dogs. Now my long dogs are all in one bag. I have 3 of them going, and I have stitched on 2 of them. Okay, this is a little bit of a mess that I have going on. I don't know where these strings go. What the heck? Oh, that's actually a needle. That is Saga. I don't think you guys have seen it in a while, but I haven't done any progress, so that's not exciting. You don't want to see that. All right, all my long dogs are stitched on 14 count Picture This Plus Murky, doing black and white. It is what I like. I restarted Ragnarok because I wanted it to match the other ones. My idea is when I frame these, even though they're not going to be the same size, they're going to look similar on my wall, and that's what I want. So I worked on You Belong to Me. Now, when I do the black and white, I sometimes do a whole motif in white. Sometimes I do fill-in, which is actually more stitching than what the pattern calls for. So on these pyramids, they're going to be filled in. All that negative space will be filled in white. So they're really going to pop. So let me show you You Belong to Me. I think I'm in, I don't know, maybe 30% complete, somewhere in there. I don't know. This is in markup. So, and as you can see, I worked on the pyramid and filling it in I might have worked on the tree since the last time you've seen it. I had the camel started in white, and the more and more I looked at it, I didn't like it. It's going to be too much white, so I pulled that back out. I put the white where I think it needs it. So like you can see in here is supposed to be negative space. I filled it in with white. So this is a whole white motif. This is supposed to be negative space. I'm filling it in. I really, really love this. I think it looks really good. I enjoy stitching on this. This is a very easy stitch. This goes to retreats with me a lot because I have a cone of white and a cone of black, and there's not tons of color changes, and it's easy to stitch on. It's 14 count. You can see it no matter what the light condition in the room is like, and I really like it. So this bag generally goes to retreats with me. The other one that I worked on is Ragnarok, and I didn't get much progress, but that's a Ragnarok. I'm trying to get this leaf done so that I can get down here and do the ship, because I want to fill the ship in. All that negative space will be filled in with white. So it's really gonna pop. I love this one. This is a restart because I had this on different fabric and I just said, no, I don't think I want it on the different fabric. I think I want it on the 14 count murky. Let me fold this because I'm not all the way across on this one. Okay. All right, so I did some down. These are 10s. They have it's 3 lines to go down, but that helps me count. I did get the top of the leaf in. I will fill in the white. I filled in more of the hope because it says on here, hope is the last thing ever lost. And I love that. I love that. I was a huge fan of the Viking show on the History Channel. If you've ever watched that, it's not real, but the characters that are in it are historical characters based on historical characters. How about that? So I'm a huge fan of that, and I love this one. I think that's gorgeous. So got a little work done on that. That may be my one project that's coming to Barefoot. So if you don't know, I'm going to Barefoot in October, and our local stitching group all has a pack that we're taking one project with us, and then we're kitting another project at the store. So one project, one full project. I feel like I could get a lot of good progress, but we're kitting something new from the store. Fabric, floss, everything. Okay. All right, what's the next one? Savior's Praise. By the way, I think I told you all, nope, that's not Savior's Praise. I told y'all I got these tags for the side of my bags. They're luggage tags from Amazon, and these are the best thing ever. I am loving them. They don't pull off. I've had paper tags on my project bags before, and they ripped off on the shelf. Getting stuff in and out of the shelf, they ripped. These tags are great. They're inexpensive at Amazon. Probably one of my favorite things. Okay, Savior's Praise. I also sometimes print out the color code, the color key. This is a PDF that I have on my iPad. Savior's Praise is gorgeous. And I am stitching mine on 14 count color and cotton. This is a one-off piece that my sister bought from me in the store when she went to their store. So it doesn't have a name. This is probably one of the prettiest pieces of fabric I've ever gotten from Color and Cotton. I really, really like it. I'm not crazy that it's 14 count, but it's what I had, and I had trouble finding fabric that I liked for this piece because the colors are I don't want to say unusual, but they're a little unusual, and you would put them on different fabrics and they just didn't do anything. I put it on this fabric and I loved them, and I haven't regretted it. It's going to be ginormous, but oh well. This is my progress on Savior's Praise. Now, I will say in person, this light green shows up better. It does not show up on camera. It does not show up on camera. It does in person. And this is kind of getting blown out as I go in. But I've done a little bit more work. Denise in our local stitching group is kicking us all in the butt because she is amazing and stitches amazingly, and she's way ahead of any of us. But I do pick it up and put some stitches in, and I love it. So I'm stitching mine with anchor threads. I got all of the anchor threads and I'm stitching it. That was called for, anchor threads. Okay. Oh, I missed an anchor thread that fell out of the bag. I do not want to lose that, so I need to put it back in the bag. This is what happens when you throw your bags around. It's zipped. It's zipped. It's okay. It's on my floor. I cleaned my floor. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Bewitched Swamp. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this one is from Owl Forest. I am like 75% done, and I don't know why. I just don't finish this stupid thing, but I don't want to work on it right now. Isn't that always the way? This is Bewitched Swamp from Owl Forest, and I loved it because it had the ducks. I'm a huge swamp, I just think the whole bayou and swamp area is cool, and I wanted to stitch this for my son. So I stitched mine on an XJU Designs. I believe this is 32 count. What is the name of this fabric? It's the green version. I don't remember what it's called. But I had it in stash. I actually think it looks great. Okay, so this is my progress. I am completely done on this side. This, let's see. Right here is where I'm stitching. It's the tree on this side. So I'm almost fully over to the top. So look at those ducks. I love them. I love the house. I love it all. I love it all. The mushrooms, they are super fun. Now, I used my own threads because Owl Forest charts theirs in their own threads. So I didn't want to order threads when I started this because I got it as a PDF. So I picked stuff that I had. They do give you the DMC. So I took the DMC color and used a variegated thread of just whatever I had. So they're similar to what they had, and it's been a fun stitch, but for some reason I just don't want to work on it. I don't know why. I'm so close to being done. I don't know. I can't explain it. Squirrel. That's all I can say. Squirrel. Okay, this was a recent start, and do I have, yes, I have the cover page. And this is, all right, you're not gonna be able to see this because my printer needed ink. It's called Sweet Simple Things from Stitchrovia, and it's really hard to see. Can you see that? I love that. It is so pretty. It looks better on her site because my printer didn't have any ink. But it says on there, it is the sweet, simple things of life, which are the real ones after all. And I love that it's like a man and wife holding hands, walking up to their farm. So I really, really like that. I am stitching mine on 32 count needle and flax Hemingway. Now, I've never stitched on needle and flax linen. So this is new. This is a new linen to me. And Stacy, the 911 stitcher, loves Hemingway. She took Hemingway to one of our retreats and it was so pretty. I was like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. So I was doing an order at Hobby House and I saw that they had Hemingway and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a piece because I've never had Hemingway and I've never tried it. It is gorgeous linen. It is beautiful. Stacy stitched something on it one time that was done in all black. I don't remember the chart. It looked so good. I took inspiration from her. And here's my tiny little start, which is some of the tree and the top of the house. It is not impressive of my start, but there we go. You can't finish it if you don't start it, right? And I'm just going to stitch it all in black. So I would say needle and flax linen is a hit for me. I definitely thought it was very pretty. It's very nice to stitch on. And Hemingway is beautiful. I shouldn't even tell y'all that because then you guys are going to want Hemingway and I'm never going to find it again. Maybe, I don't know. All right. Did I drop a card? I have no idea. Okay, this is the next one. This is a Sal or a start along that I did with Katie Stitching. She has a Flosstube, so go check her out, Katie Stitching. And the 911 stitcher Stacy. It is the Annunciation. It is gorgeous. But this is a big chart. This is by Marsham Stitch. They are on Etsy. And this is this is 347 by 375. So she's giant. I am stitching mine with DMC 29, which is a purple. I am stitching mine on 30 count Weeks Platinum. I'm a huge Weeks fan. Thought I didn't like it. I lied. I love Weeks linen. So, oh, I don't even think I can show all of this all the way across. I have been working, I'll show it and then I'll move it. How about that? I have been working all the way to get it all the way across. So I did. I'll go in close. You can't see much of the pattern on this side. It was mainly to get there. And I'll go back and put more details in. Let me show you this side. Is that not gorgeous? I love it. Love it. So I'm all the way across at the top. This one is going to be around for a while. I am using Pattern Keeper, which makes it a lot easier. Did I just drop my needle? I hope not. Let me make sure my needle's still in there. Because otherwise I got a needle on the floor and I don't like that. Ooh. Nope, my needle's still here. Okay. I should have a needle minder on here and I don't. So I need to put one on there. But as you can see, it's ginormous. Lordy be. But it is gorgeous. I love this. So we're all stitching that. And I think with the new Pope coming in, the Pope passing away, the really cool thing is my son went, I was raised Catholic. My son went to Christ the King locally, which is a Catholic school, Catholic high school on the north side of town. For a long time, there was only one Catholic high school, and that was Charlotte Catholic. And Charlotte Catholic's been around since I was in school. And they started Christ the King, and it was up here. Our Montessori school was closing. He chose to go to Christ the King. They always take trips overseas to do different things. And they were overseas when the Pope died. And they actually got to go and view the Pope when he was laid out. And that is amazing for a school trip. So that was amazing for those kids to be there while that history was being done. Nobody wants a Pope to die or anybody to die. You should never want anybody to die. But what an amazing time for the class to be there, for the kids on the trip to be there. Okay, the next one, and that's stuff that you didn't ask for, but I shared it with you anyhow. This is Anthem's Folly, and this is from Heart Ease Exemplar Works, and this is a giant one as well. Why am I loving giant pieces? This year, I have been wanting to stitch some big projects, much like I did last year. So, It is what it is. I just roll with it. So this is Anthem's Folly, and I think it's beautiful. I love the house, the barn, the horse. So I'm stitching mine. Oh, that's right there. On 28 count gingham. This is the cocoa one. So this is the darker gingham. And I am using DMC. Now I will say I have more fabric here than I actually need. I'm not going to cut it for a while. I'll cut it towards the end. It's not a huge amount, but it is more than I need. But at that point, it kind of seems silly to cut it and then create something that would fray. So I'm just not doing that. All right, so I've got the top border all the way in, all the way across. I've got some of the trees in, and this is the top of the house. You can see there, top of the house. These are supposed to be specialty stitches, but you can stitch them normal. And I'm stitching mine normal. So that is my start of Anthem's Folly. Stacy has this one started as well, and she is trying to put it into markup for us. As you can see, I already have the chart, so it's okay. She's trying to get it in. It is, oh my goodness. Do you see how thick that chart is? It's a lot of pages. I'm using paper copy right now because I wanted to start it. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it in or not. We'll see. We'll see. But Anthem's Folly, it's beautiful. Okay. Now these are down here, so I'm going to kind of randomly pick them. I'm going to try to do them in order, but we'll see. All right, I have been looking for this pattern for a while, and I finally came across it from Acorn and Threads. I ordered online, and it came no problems. This is Eve from La Di Da, and I loved her. She is beautiful. So I started Eve on 32 count wood smoke from Lakeside Linen. Now, I've had this linen for the longest time and it is beautiful. This is the perfect project. I don't have much of a start, but there it is. Love it. And the linen is gorgeous, gorgeous. I don't believe Lakeside is in business anymore, or you can't get it. I don't know what the deal is. And does anybody know what the deal is, Lakeside? I actually don't know. So, but Lakeside Linen is very, very pretty. Now, if you guys have been here for a while, you know that I'm a huge Aida stitcher. I will stitch on linen. I will stitch on Lugana. My comfort stitch will always be a good soft Aida. But sometimes I find the perfect fabric for the project and it's linen, and I'll use it. Oops, I didn't put that back in the bag. That would be bad because this one only comes in a paper. I can't get it in a PDF. I wish more designers used PDF. Now I'm so spoiled, I want everything on PDF. Okay, all right, the next one. Oh, nope. This is the bag that goes with the Garden Medley banners. I have all the floss in here. I have any flosses that I didn't have that I subbed. I have my notes in here. I have some more of the fabric that I used. I have another piece of this fabric that I used on the banner. I cut it so I can get 2 banners out of it. It does take a pretty long piece to do a banner. Oh, I said I was going to show you what else I had in here. So I don't know, as I do these banners, which of these I will use, but I did want to show you in case you were interested. Okay, so this is the little buttons that I used. They're called sprinkles, and these are from Button Up. And See how they are perfectly sized for cross stitch? I got these from Fat Quarter Shop. I know other places sell them. I've got different colors. I'll show you some more colors. These I got from Kitten Stitcher. It's called the Bee Company. And there's some pumpkins. These are all buttons. Some flowers. Some little reindeer. This is some Christmas ones too. And there's some more pumpkins. So I stuck those all in the bag. I also have some more sprinkles here of colors that I knew match stuff coming up. So I've stuck those in the bag. And then I have a jar of miscellaneous buttons. So here's some that I had from some project. I don't know, they're Christmas ones. They're just random buttons that I stuck in this jar. I think this was from StitchCon, but it's really good to hold my buttons in this bag. And as I do these medleys, I will add buttons on. So some of these are in my stash. I need to pull them out so you can see them all together. I had ones that I had, and then I got some more. So this is the Valentine medley. Super cute. Now you see why I pulled the pink buttons. Christmas medley. Halloween medley. Now this is not a medley, but it's called Here's the Skinny on Halloween. It is almost identical stitch count, so that's why I pulled it and put it in the bag. Autumn medley. And then I got spring medley. Now that one came with the button already on it. These are ones that I got like on Stash Unload, or I found them, I think it's called crossstitchstash.com. She had some of these because they are out of print. This is Family medley, which I love this one. Love it. This will probably be my next one. It says, you and I side by side, wherever we roam, this will always be home. I love that. I love that. So that'll probably be my next one. Winter medley. And then, sorry, there's a note in here. I'm going to switch it to the side. This is Snowman medley. Isn't that cute? There is a Thanksgiving medley. I haven't found that yet. And maybe that's it. I think I'm just missing the Thanksgiving one. So those are all in a bag, and another one will be done soon. I can't throw that one because it has a glass jar in it. That probably wouldn't be good, right? All right, let's see. This is At Home with Thy Needle and Thread. Now, this is an unusual one for me. It's very muted colors, but I actually really like it. Now, I'm stitching this on 40 count weeks, and the color is called Linen. Now, if you know me, I have a 40 count piece that was lingering from my whips, and I hate stitching on it until my friend Rachel said, why don't you just get like stronger glasses, reading glasses? And I was like, huh. I tried like 3.0, I can see 40 count. So this kind of came out of that. I wish these colors were showing up. I'll go in close. I wish they were showing up because they are the sweetest colors. Maybe you can see that a little bit. It is beautiful, beautiful. I don't have much progress, but it's really very, very pretty. So I decided a 40 count, it takes me longer, but I really liked that. Okay, now this one was a spur of the moment start. I was going through trying to find my PDF from Needle Worker's House from Teresa Kogut. I printed it, and I can't even find the bag, so I can't even show you the bags. I don't know, I've worked on it a little bit. I'll show it next time. And I wanted it to put it into markup. I printed the PDF originally. I guess I didn't save the PDF, but I tried to go back and I could not find it. I ended up buying the PDF off of Teresa Kogut's Patreon site. If you're a Patreon member, you can buy previous Patreons. I was a member at the time and I printed the chart, I just didn't save it. That's on me. So I bought it as a PDF. Anyhow, I don't even have that bag up here, so I can't show you that progress. It's not much. But I did find Mary Dodd, that was a Patreon in October 2023. And I saw it on my PDFs and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. And I started it. This is Mary Dodd. And I just love the angel. And I love the house. I love the little creek. I just loved everything about that. I will change her, because it says some get riches, yet are always poor. Some get no riches, yet have all things store. I am going to change Mary Dodd's name. I probably put my name there, or I'll put something else there. This is stitched on 14 count flannel flower from Fox and Rabbit. Once again, I love a good Ada, and flannel flower is one of my favorites. So this is my progress on Mary Dodd, and I love her. So I got the angel in. I'm working on this basket up here. There's another basket right here that I need to put in. I need to fill in her flower, work down, but I love her. She's so pretty. And the fabric, this flannel flower is more modeled than the other one. So love it, love it, love it, love it. This has been one of my favorite stitches that I've been stitching on lately. I gotta fold my piece of paper, it ain't gonna fit. Okay. I have her in a tiny bag. Tiny. Okay, what else do I have? Oh, all right. Now this one is one that I want to get the PDF, but I could not wait. This was one of my market picks that I was like, no, I'm getting it and I'm starting it. And so it finally came in. I didn't pre-order it because well, I did. It fell out of my pre-order because the designer had a death in the family and she didn't go to market. So she couldn't do pre-orders. So it finally came in. I got it. It is the Cicada Sampler from Coxford Rise Stitchery. And I loved this when it came out and I was going to buy it. Whoops. I have another chart that I didn't put the pattern back in. What is wrong with me today? I'm like randomly not putting patterns back in stuff. She did say that she'll eventually offer it as a PDF, but I couldn't wait. So I will buy the PDF and I will pass my chart on to somebody else when I get the PDF. Hold on, I've got a needle and there we go. It was hooked to another piece on the fabric. This is stitched on 18 count, and it's Seraphim, but I don't know the name of it. It's something ear. I can't read the tag, so I don't exactly know what it says. But it is Seraphim, 18 count. I'm using one strand. So this is my progress. Now, this is very stitch heavy around the border. I have the vine of the border in and the top of the roof. So this is what I'd like to get back to. I love, love, love the fabric. I wish I could tell you what the name of it is. I couldn't read the tag. So there we go. It's very, very pretty. I will buy the PDF when it comes out. I'll pass on my chart, but this is gorgeous. So I'm going to put the chart back in the bag since I keep leaving my chart out. Okay. The next one is Faithful, Kind, True, and True Sampler. So this is a funny story. I saw this chart. I saw this piece finished when I went to StitchCon. I went to Craft Gallery. It was sitting on a table being framed, and I happened to be in the store when they were framing it. And Paula was like, "Oh, I hope that isn't like a surprise retreat piece." It was. But I saw it with my eyeballs. I loved it. I was like, oh, I can't wait till it's released. Well, it's finally released. And Craft Gallery does framing for Teresa Kogut. So this was there. It was gorgeous. She had a couple other pieces there. This one caught my eye. I could not wait for it to get released. And it was released at Market, I think. Faithful, Kind, and True from Teresa Kogut. And that's the sampler. I love it. I think it's so pretty. So pretty. So, where's my board? I did start it. True to my word, I bought it and started it. I don't have much of a start, but this is going to get some more love very shortly. This does not have hardly anything started on it, actually. Am I on the right side? Why does my needle minder look like that? That's weird. My needle minder is just a piece of metal. All right. Yeah, that's my only start. It's not impressive. But there we go. I'm doing this on 30 count weeks linen. And that's the name of the color, is called linen. It's just this like really great creamy color that I like. I've ordered a yard of it, and then I think I went through the yard for different projects, and I think I had to order another yard of it. So there you go. Okay, now this one is one that I'm on the fence about. I love the chart. I don't know if I loved my fabric size. I almost think it's too small. But because I kind of had second thoughts about it, I was like, let me put it down. Let me think about it a little bit, and then I'll come back. So let me show you the chart first. I may come back and do this bigger. This is Simple Life from Nikki's Creations, and it's a cute little farm scene. Now, I will say her pictures on the front of her chart do not do her charts justice. They're a little better than they used to be, but it is super cute, and it's called Simple Life. I chose to do it on 22 count Bestitch Me, just an unknown color. It was just a creamy color, but I think it might end up being too small. So this is my progress so far, and I think I might want it bigger. So I might change this to a bigger count fabric. I like it, but I think it needs to be bigger. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of stopped because I wasn't sure. Oh, this isn't unknown. This is Sand Dollar. It does have the tag on it. Bestitch Me Sand Dollar. I always try to tell people the name of the fabric because I know I see fabric on Flosstube and I'm like, ooh, I like that fabric. So maybe somebody else wants to see the fabric, order the fabric or whatever. All right. This is the Quirky Fractureds, which are from Twin Peaks. This was another market release. And here's the chart. And I liked these people, and I was going to do them as stand-ups. And I did one. And I stopped because I wanted to think about it of, did I want to change the colors? But now that I see it, I think I still like the colors, so I'm okay with it. It's a little different than what I had, so I'm good. But I took a pause, and that's why I don't have two done. I only have one. This one is a finish, and it's the lady that's in the book. And my idea is to do these as stand-ups for 4th of July because they're all like colonial people. I did change the colors. The colors I'm using are my own colors that I picked. I changed I think this was supposed to be gray, but if you look at the front cover, it looks blue. So I changed them. Actually, let's look at the back color. The back cover is better. I think they look blue. So I changed them to be more red and more blue. I just did. I actually think these would be really cute done with Prairie Schooler colors. I don't know why. I think it just reminds me of that. Anyhow, that's a finish. I do have to go in there and do more. And I have all of the fabric in here to do the other guys. And then finish them into stand-ups. So, do I have the fabric in there? Yeah, I do. I was like, I'm lying because I don't have the fabric in there. But it was hiding. It's in there to do the rest of them. All right. That was the one that I wanted to show you the pattern because I didn't know where I put it. Okay. This is my Deborah Harry bag that Stacy got me as a gift when she came to visit me. Oh my God, I love this one. This is an on-the-go project. Something hit my leg, so I've dropped something. Probably not going to be good, and I have the hiccups again. I shouldn't even show this because I have no progress. But this is Home Sweet Home from Stitching with the Housewives. And here is my progress. That's it. I'm stitching this on, I think it's 32 count grandpa sleeve. I love this fabric. This is just a to-go project that I keep. It fits in this little bag. I like having something that I can easily take with me, and this is perfect. Okay, the next one is one that I also paused because it's a great truck project. I actually have another project, but I didn't have much stitching, so I actually did not bother bringing it. This is etched floral etchings, and I am doing the first flower over here, but I changed it and picked my own colors. Oh, you can't see my progress, so I got to take this out of the hoop. I am stitching this over 2 on 14 count golden needle. Now, these I saw at StitchCon, stitched big, and they were amazing, and I loved them, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna stitch them as. So, finally, this is a wrinkled mess, but I had to move my, there's my progress. Now, I changed it to purples, and I changed the green to my favorite, like tealy green. I think that's Teal Frost. And I'm stitching it over 2. I like flowers that are not real flowers, what I consider, because as my sister would say to me, that flower doesn't come in that color. And so I like what I call weedy flowers. And this is one of those. So I need to keep this bag up here because I have another pattern to put in here. But I'm going to stitch them large for the spring, and they're not pastel. So that's even better. All right, we're going to keep moving because I'm going way on time. But as you can see, I had a lot to show. I'll show you my stash, and then we'll be done. All right, this is Painted Flowers from Shakespeare Peddler, and I actually had the pattern, but they sold it as a kit at Keepsakes, and there's a color conversion, and I loved their color conversion, so I bought the whole kit. If you are interested, contact Keepsakes. It even comes with the backing fabric. It is so pretty. So contact them if you're interested in seeing the color conversion that they did, and they sell it as a whole kit. I'm going to simply give my other pattern away that I have since it came in the kit. But I really wanted the kit colors. So sometimes you got to rebuy it, I guess. All right. This is Chubby You from Jeanette Douglas. I think this is cute for the spring. And it's not pastel. This is Liberty from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I love these little Quakers. This is the patriotic one. I think it's really pretty. I also got the, I guess this would be spring. It says The Earth Laughs, but it's that whole, it's really pretty. From Colorado Cross Stitcher, some of these came. I got Birds of a Feather Spring Home. You know I'm a huge Birds of a Feather fan. So that bird was adorable. I got Valentine Holiday because I think it's cute with the little couple and the little Cupid above. I think you can see him. I also got Animal Cracker Series Millie because I did not have Millie. Quaker Sewing Tray from With Thy Needle and Thread. Really pretty. I don't remember, I don't think this came from Colorado Cross Stitcher, but I can't remember where it came from. Easter Parade, I did not have that. I think that's really cute. Stars and Stripes with Brenda Gervais. I like patriotic, so that's cute. I got Freedom Pin Roll from Plum Street. Sampler Hill from Brenda Gervais. This is prettier stitched than it is in the picture. I've seen this stitch, and it's really cute. And then Good Deeds from Brenda Gervais. I love those flowers. Once again, they're not real flowers. They're kind of weedy flowers. Now, I am waiting on Heart Ease Exemplar Works to come out with the North Carolina sampler. She said that it was coming out March 30th, at the end of March. It hasn't. So somehow she's gotten behind. That's why I started Anthem's Folly. But I also ordered A Time Forever Gone, and this is the Georgia sampler. It is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty. I also ordered it fully kitted with linen. I didn't even realize I ordered the linen too. Yes, what linen did I choose? Because I don't think this is called for linen. Weeks. Oh, this is 40 count page. Is that what she calls for? No, Lakeside. So I must have picked something else, or I got this for another project and I don't remember what it is. I don't know if I'm going to do that one on 40 count because that's so big. It would take me a lot longer to do 40 count linen. So I don't know, but that one's fully kitted. This is Birds of a Feather. I did get this from Colorado Cross Stitcher. It's fully kitted. And it is called Good Things. And I have looked for this pattern for a while. And I love it. And she had it as a kit. Kitted all the way up. And I got that. I also got Bloom Where You Are Planted from Brenda Gervais. I love this one. It looks way better stitched. But who doesn't love a little hummingbird? Oh, so cute. This one looks way better stitched than it does in the picture as well. Where Heart Rests from Brenda Gervais, and it's the nest. It looks way better stitched. Now this one is going to be started. It is A and E, designed by Brenda Gervais, and it is Adam and Eve, and I love this. So this is actually on my list to be started. This is Liberty House from Brenda Gervais. I don't remember where I got these from, but I don't think it was Colorado Cross Stitcher, but it could have been. Don't quote me on that. This is Land of Liberty from Brenda Gervais. I wasn't sure if I had this one, and I stuck it in an order. If I have it, my second copy will go to somebody. This is Praise Jesus from La Di Da. I'm going to change the colors, but I really like that one. And this one is top on my list to start. From the sampler company, Brenda Keys. This is called Dwelling Place. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. This house is gorgeous. It is massive. And I love it. So pretty. Okay, so shockingly, that is all the stash I have. That's it. I know that was a lot though. So what are my plans? My plans are to continue on some of the projects that I have. I am going to StitchCon Weekend A in June. We are going to Craft Gallery beforehand. I think that's the only one. The next retreat I go is October Barefoot in Myrtle Beach. I never want to miss their retreats. That's probably one of my favorite retreats. And it's so close to me. It's a 3-hour drive. Excuse me, a 3-hour drive to the beach. So it's such an easy retreat. Our group is growing on who goes with us. I love that. So that is all I have. I'm going to be working on projects. Anything that is over 2, I'm going to be doing in the truck when we go on a trip, because it's such an easy stitch to do. So I'm kind of holding off on those projects. I need to put those on a special spot on my shelf so I can remember, like, oh, I need to take that with me. But I'm going to continue to stitch, and hopefully it won't take me this long to come back. I'm so sorry that it takes me this long. But just know that I'm always stitching. I am on social media, so if you ever have a question, you can send me a message on Instagram. Don't feel shy if you have a question or you just want to chat stitching. I chat stitching all the time, so don't feel like you can't message me. Unless you message me like something mean, and then I'm going to be like, I don't really want to talk to somebody who's being mean to me. So if I don't respond, I'll be like, oh well. No, I'm kidding. In all honesty, I think over the years I've gotten maybe 2 comments, and I wouldn't even say they were mean. One just said that my floss tube wasn't for them. Fair enough. That was the episode that I showed some questionable fabric that I had, but I gave a pre-warner that it wasn't going to be for everybody, and if you didn't want to see it, drop out, because it was male genitalia on fabric. I bought it for a specific project that I made for my girlfriends, that it was very funny, but I showed it on here because it was something that I had, and maybe somebody else wants some male genitalia on fabric. Maybe not, but so I think that was one of the comments, and that's the only one that sticks out. People are really, really sweet in the cross stitch community. So I haven't gotten many nasty comments. Now, don't give me nasty comments because I said that. How about that? Don't give me nasty comments. But if I'm not your cup of tea, fair enough, right? There's plenty of floss tubers out there to find somebody that stitches what you love or stitches things that you're interested in. Find somebody that you like. I enjoy watching tons of floss tubers, and I'm always finding new people. So, and new to me, like I'll look and I'll be like, they have 5,000 subscribers. How come I haven't seen them before? And I haven't seen them, but they're out there. So if you think you watch all the floss tube, there's 20 more out there that you never heard of that are hugely popular, and they're great floss tubers. They show projects, but I like to watch stuff that maybe things I like to stitch. Sometimes I like to see, I don't always enjoy full coverage projects. I'm really struggling with my ARC project because I don't like full coverage. I'm trying, but I don't like full coverage. I'm not going to ditch it. I'm going to keep it and just keep every once in a while working on it. But that's one that you're not going to see a lot because it's so big that you're not going to see progress. So you might see that once a year to see progress. But I'm really struggling with it and I just don't want to work on it. So, but I like to see people who do full coverage, even though I don't really stitch a lot of full coverage. I'm oddly weird like that. So anyhow, that was a long way of saying, find a floss tuber that you love, that stitches something that you like, And you have an instant friend because you already have something in common with them. You like to stitch. Maybe you don't like to stitch everything that they stitch, but that's okay. You like to stitch. That's the perfect conversation starter, right? All right, so I'm going to sign off. I hope to see you guys all soon, and stay cool and keep stitching.